Hello all, let's start part 2 of your lecture from section 3.1, 3.2. We are not done with 3.1, 3.2, or I can say with 3.2. There are last two topics about finding mean, right? What we discuss is finding mean. We discussed this topic and we learned how to find the mean of a data set. If it's a sample or if it's a population, how to calculate. The next one here, the next one that I want to discuss it today, this one is mean of, today we learn mean of frequency distribution, mean of a frequency distribution. How to find the mean of a frequency distribution. Look, for example, I don't remember the numbers that I used about your class. I don't have it on a piece of paper because we did that example, but I'll use a similar example. For example, here we have age. The classes are 21 to 30. Next class is 31 to 40. Next class is 41 to 50. 51 to 60. The next one is 61 to 70, and also 71 to 80. Correct? And the frequency for this example is, for example, 21 to 30, 28 people. Here, 30 people for the next class. Next one is 12. Next one is 2. Again 2. And again 2. Correct? Now, I want to find the mean of frequency distribution. Here, I'll use X again in this column, but remember this time this X is class midpoint. It means first find your class midpoints, but usually in every example you calculate all of them and you know how to find class midpoint. To find a class midpoint, again I'm repeating. For example, I want to find the class midpoint for my first class. What will I do? I will add 21 plus 30 and I'll divide it by 2, which gives me 51 divided by 2, which means 25.5, correct, in decimal. Now, the first class is 25.5. You know the techniques because you see the class width for this example is 10. Correct? The class width for this example is 10. Then next one will be 35.5. Next one will be 45.5. Next one will be 55.5. Next class 65.5. And next class 75.5. Correct? Let me bring my calculator for a minute and I'll continue with the lecture. I'm sorry, I have to bring my calculator. Now, after you find your class midpoint, the next step is draw another column, please. Here your X is, let me rewrite here, class midpoint. Correct? In the next column, find this, F times X. Multiply your frequency with your class midpoint. It gives you a number. Write it down here. 28 times 25.5 gives me 714. Correct? 30, next will be 1065, 546. Next one is 111. Next one is 131. And next one is 151. What we do, we multiply our F with our X. You can do it in your calculator. It gives you a number. Now, what is the next step? We already know the sum of our frequencies, which is your N, sum of frequency, or even you can call it N. If you add this column, it gives you 76. Correct? What you do here now, add these numbers. Find the sum of F times X. Correct? It means add 714, 1065, all these numbers, add this way, please. Correct? And you will end up with 2780. Now, the formula to find the mean of a frequency distribution, X bar equals the sum of f of x, or f times, not f of x, sorry, I jumped to algebra, f times x over what? N. That's your formula to find the sum of a mean. The mean of a frequency distribution. Correct? You already calculated what is sum of f times x? 2718 over n. You already calculated your n is 76. And if you divide this two number, you will end up with 35.76, which is the mean of this frequency distribution. Correct? I'll repeat it one more time. I'll try to write the steps for you. What I did. In step 1, F, a frequency, let me tell you this way, F, A, frequency, distribution, table is given correct? And step 1, and you are step 1, find the class midpoint for each class. Correct? And you are step 2, correct? Find x times f, or f times x, correct? Even I can say here, your class midpoint means x, correct? And step 3, find sum of f, which is equal to n, correct? Step 4, plug in x bar equals sum of f times x over n. That will be your mean, correct? This is how you find the mean of a frequency distribution. Last topic in this section is calculating or finding, again, calculating weighted mean. I will start this way. Look at your class. Now look at your syllabus. In your syllabus, I have weighted grades, correct? For example, your homework is how many percent? Your homework is, I think, 20% of your grade. Your tests, correct, is 30% of your grade. A test is actually 40%. Let me fix it, calculate it for you. Your test is 40%. Quizzes, they are 10%. And your final is 30%. If you see, if you add all of them, it gives you 100. Correct? 100%. This is the weight. This is your class. Correct? Now, I want to find the weighted mean. Correct? Let's say a student does really good, submits, like you have 4 homeworks, 4 set of homeworks, each one has 25 points. Let's say you submit 3 of them and you get 3 times 25, 75 points, correct? Here, I'll name it again x, but your x is points, correct? You do very well in tests. All of my students, they are good. You end up with 90. Quizzes, you end up with, let's say, you have 5 quizzes, you get 50 points. All of them good because you are doing group quizzes and you are not missing. And the final, which is 150 points, let's say you do well, you get 130 points. Correct? Now I want to find the mean. To do so, what I do, I'll create another column. Correct? The first thing that I will do, I will find x times w for each class. It means for the first class, I will multiply 20% times 75. Be careful here. I know no one should be in my class to do not know this. All of you have math classes. You know that you cannot percentage sign to multiply. You have to change first 20% to decimal, correct? If you don't know, if you don't remember, do it this way. Let me bring up the calculator. I will show you, even if you don't know what is 20% or what is 30%. 20% means 20 divided by 100, which gives you 0.2, correct? Now, actually here what you do, you are multiplying 0.2 times 75. Again, using your calculator, 0.2 times 75. You end up with 15, correct? You get a number which gives you what? 15. For the first group, 50. 40% means 0.4 times, you got here how much? 90 points. And if you multiply, let's do it. 95 times 0.4 equals, it gives you 38. For the next class, 50 times 10% means 0.1. 0.1 times 50, correct? Which gives you hopefully 5. You see, I'm using calculator to show everything. 0.1 times 50, which gives you 5. See, it gives you 5. Easy multiply, even some of them when you see you can multiply it. 30% means 0.3 times 130, which gives you, let's do it, 130, correct, times 0.3. You end up with 39. Now what you do, you find the sum of x times w. If you add up, let's do it this way. 15 gives you 20, 20 and 38 gives you 58, 58 and 30 gives you 88, 88 and 9 gives you 97. You end up with an A in the class, correct? If you go this way, you end up with an A. Now, I know this number, which is 97. What is the formula? And this one, you know, always it's 100, correct? Because if you add these, it's 100%, correct? The sum of your W's, correct? What you do, your formula is x bar equals sum of x times w over sum of w's. It means here 39, oh 97, sorry, not 39, from where this 39 comes in, 97 divided by 100, which is, let's do the calculation, 97 divided by 100 equals to 0.97. 0.97. That will be the weighted mean of a weighted frequency distribution. Correct? Uh, when we come to class, I'll teach you the TI-84, how to use TI-84, and if I find a way uh, to show it to you in computer how to use your TI-84, definitely I'll record another lecture and I add it here. But for your class, because it's a hybrid class, I will show it next day in the class how to use finally those expensive calculators that you bought, how to use it, and I'll show you a lot in it, and you will tell me why we did it, all of them with these tables with the hand, when I can use only just clicking buttons. I will show it to you next day. It's easy. We are done with section 3.2. See you all in section 3.3.